decided to do web exercise number 5, which is treatment of older generations by culture. And the first question was, after reading your textbooks and web sources, what do you think about your own culture's view of the elderly? And after everything, looking through articles and like news outlets and even my textbook, I think that most Western cultures are very tolerant and respect their elders and expect to like receive wisdom from them and are pretty well treated. There's nothing about like that they think that aging is like a curse or that you're losing value. So that's basically what America is dealing with the elderly too. Number 2 is there another culture's view of the elderly that should be incorporated into your own? So I definitely think that Native Americans is a really cool culture that they're like almost expected to give down knowledge to the younger generations. I think that's a super important thing because they have a lot of life experience. And that's actually what the Native American culture is with the elderly, is that they're very valued because they have so many life experiences and wisdom to pass down. Also another one is Korea's, because Korea is already like, it's rooted to that they need to respect their elders in the Confucian principle of, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but the law of piety, and that's basically dictating them that they must respect their parents, and that's part of the Confucianism. It's like a long history in Korea, but sorry, I definitely botched that pronunciation of that, but it's fine. I thought those were 2 really cool cultures and how they treated them and how they respect them. So I think that's a really important part of growing up. The third question is, are the elderly better forgotten, revered, or consulted for wisdom? And I think it definitely is the third option for me, consulted for wisdom, because I've always come to my grandparents, sometimes my parents can't even answer a question for me. And they've always been very helpful and good advice. So I definitely think that we need to continue learning from our older generations, because it's like, you know, the old saying, history can be doomed to repeat itself if you don't listen to it. So I think that it's always really important about learning from older generation, like how not to make mistakes. And I mean, obviously everyone makes mistakes, but how to make mistakes and how to learn from them. And more importantly, they know how to grow from them because they have that experience with them. And the fourth question was, how would you use context to change like how you and others view of the elderly? So personally, me, I really think that the elderly and getting older is really important, and I think it's kind of a passageway and everything. I just think that's my view of it, and I don't know if I'm going to change my view on it, but I think for others' view of elderly, I think you can give them examples maybe if they did have any experience with their grandparents, if their grandparents were alive, or if they've had any experience with older people, and give them examples and try to be like, hey, have they ever given you advice? And stuff like that, so that brings to their attention like, wow, like this, all that you have all this and stuff like that because of your grandparents or older figure in your life, whoever you were raised by if they were older. So I think that just using examples of like something from their personal life, because honestly, personally, that's what really changes my view and stuff, is when people can strive from personal experience. Yeah, but this was just a really cool web exercise. I really liked it, and this is it's kind of cool how the class is all coming together, like how it's like we learned about 3-month-olds like literally a week ago, and now we're learning about elderly. So yeah.